Why is it necessary for us to buy things from Djibouti and pay in dollars? Why? There is no reason. Africa has been arbitrarily and prejudicially profiled as risky for investment on entirely spurious grounds. As a result, the volumes and financing available for African development are traditionally minute, and the cost of these finances is notoriously extortionate. It is difficult to avoid concluding that in terms of development financing architecture, the global system is rigged against African progress. It is our role, honorable members, it is our role to persistently bring to the attention of the world the importance of abandoning a fundamentally unjust global financial system and the prejudicial biases and attitudes that underpin it, not solely for Africa's sake, but to avert the collective peril of humanity. As African leaders, we have to canvass this agenda at every available opportunity in every forum. It is clear now that the climate crisis will be brought under control once the global financial and governance frameworks facilitate Africa to emerge as the champion of a green industrial revolution. To get there, we have to deepen African unity, sustain and intensify our collaboration, and speak in one firm, clear voice. This is how we will deploy our natural resource base to unlock the promise of carbon trading mechanisms under Article 6 and to prevent the plunder of our continent's resources by others. The AU reform agenda should be our top priority for African leaders to thoroughly examine and facilitate the process to ensure that the roles of the Bureau, the Summit, committees, regional caucuses, the Secretariat, and commissions are appropriately streamlined, creating a continental governance body that is truly effective. Equally, the imperative to fully operationalize the Pan-African Parliament is urgent. We must also review the funding arrangements for our AU budgets. It is an important thing for us to discuss. African Solutions, Agenda 2063, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and the vision of a young, clean, green continent of the future will remain a pale dream until, if we do not equip the Africa Union with the necessary capacity to live up to our aspirations. I am also aware that a key setback for our individual and collective efforts to break free of our intractable problems with climate change, peace, and security lies with a fundamental flaw in our global multilateral governance structure. The apex organ of the UN system, you all know, the Security Council, persistently manifests a continental resistance to the values and principles that inspired the formation of the UN and which the institution is mandated to promote and defend. Do you know that only 5 countries of this world hold meaningful power in the UN Security Council? None of them is African. More than half of the world's population is not represented in the UN Security Council. It is neither democratic, it is not representative, it is not transparent, it is not accountable. As a result, it is unable to effectively respond to the pressing peace and security needs of the parts of the world most affected by conflict and insecurity in our global south. Its attitude to conflicts is geographically determined, and its intervention is likewise biased. In 2023, it should not be possible for the foremost institution of global governance to remain so egregiously exclusive and non-representative and claim to stand for any meaningful human norm. Djibouti's geostrategic potential grows more immense as globalization advances and as geopolitical complexity intensifies. Every significant peace and security actor factors Djibouti as a component of effective global strategy as a matter of course. Djibouti is also a diplomatic hub of no mean repute. IGAD is not headquartered here by accident. I commend the progress that Djibouti is making in mobilizing effective consensus among IGAD members states on regional environmental peace and security issues. I also appreciate Djibouti's role under the leadership of His Excellency President Ismail Omar Guelleh in leading the fact-finding mission to assist in the resolution of maritime dispute with a friendly neighbor. Your good offices have been a tremendous source of comfort. To highlight the impressive scope and promise of appropriate continental instruments, let us reflect for a moment on the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. This single mechanism has inaugurated the world's largest free trade area. Under it, 54 countries have agreed to create a single market with a population of 1.4 billion and a GDP of US dollars 3.4 trillion. The free trade is projected to lift 30 million people out of extreme poverty and boost incomes by 7%, or US dollars 450 billion by 2035. This is the magnitude of what typical Pan-African collective action can achieve, and we are only getting started. Sequencing will always be critical in these initiatives. African integration will require freer movement of people and goods, which in turn call for better infrastructure and better connectivity. Yet the soul of free trade is the medium of exchange. The barriers to easy payments and settlements across borders within our continent are simply unsustainable. Let me give you an example. Traders from Djibouti selling to Kenya, or traders from Kenya selling to Djibouti, have to look for US dollars. How is US dollars part of the trade between Djibouti and Kenya? Why? And we are saying that today, Afri-Exim Bank have given us a mechanism where traders in our continent can trade in their goods and services, and the Africa Exim Bank will settle payments in local currency. That is why Kenya champions the Pan-African payment and settlement system that is done by our own institution, the Afri-Exim Bank. Why, members? Why is it necessary for us to buy things from Djibouti and pay in dollars? Why? There is no reason. And we are not against the US dollar. We just want to trade much more freely. Let us pay in US dollars what we are buying from the US. But what we are buying from Djibouti, let's use local currency. IGAD's ability to be consistent and effective in a context characterized by intensifying geostrategic complexity points us towards the quality of solidarity required for regional organizations like IGAD and multilateral institutions to meet the needs of our time. I am happy to state that Kenya and Djibouti remain united in their commitment to strengthen the critical regional mechanism like IGAD. I therefore take this opportunity to thank the government of Djibouti for its steady commitment and unwavering support for IGAD, especially as the organization's gracious host. Aside from IGAD, Kenya and Djibouti are brought together by a common goal of promoting peace and stability in the Horn of Africa through other mechanisms. We are both troop-contributing countries for efforts aimed at stabilizing Somalia and combating terrorism through the Africa Union's transition mission in Somalia, ATMIS, as well as its precursor, the Africa Union mission in Somalia, AMISOM. These efforts represent our shared commitment to collaborate consistently in the pursuit of our mutual interests, bilaterally, regionally, multilaterally, for the benefits of our peoples. As the country's parliament, this assembly is the place where the nation reasons with itself in order to generate solutions and guide progress. Your deliberations matter to Djibouti's national agenda, for our region, and where our destiny is forged. And as a result, my coming here, ladies and gentlemen, is not just a visit. It is an opportunity to consolidate the friendship between our two people. I have agreed. We did agree that we are going to work on the visa requirements for our diplomatic and services sectors. And the processes between the two countries have been concluded. I have today informed my brother, President Goulet, that we will not only make it possible for people holding diplomatic passports and services passports to come to Kenya without the need for a visa, but I have also extended it to all the people of Djibouti, even those holding ordinary passports. From today, it is now possible for you to travel to Nairobi and Kenya without the requirement of a visa.